Mr. Trump, do you support breastfeeding? That's the joke within the joke. Mr. Trump, do you support pumping milk for breastfeeding at other hours? Everyone's followed that, right? People know what I'm talking about. There's been a hubbub over. Never mind if you don't know. Mr. Trump, do you support the NSA's spying on the American people? Yes or no? Mr. Trump, would you eliminate the NSA's program of spying on the entire populace of America? Yes or no? Mr. Pump, that was actually funny. Mr. Trump, do you support, how do you recover from that? Let's just keep rolling. Keep rolling the tape. This is live, ladies and gentlemen. This is live to tape. Mr. Trump. You know, I think that I need to stop there and just pause for a minute. There's about to be a deluge of articles written about his content, his substance. I read one last night written by a journalist who had bought every book that Donald Trump has ever written or co-written. It was either 7 or 8 books, and he read them all. He said, I binge read them. And I found that it was confusing, incohesive, angry, a little bit funny, that he flip-flopped on various issues. So in some ways, people just don't know where the man stands. Now, the debates are coming up. The first debates, my memory is that there was close to 20 debates in 2012, and the Republican National Committee has agreed to allow 10 debates in the primary season. 10 debates for the Republican candidates. So the top 10 people in the polls just before that debate are the ones that are going to be on the stage, all right? So there's people who might not make the cut. Governor Chris Christie might not make the cut. Governor Bobby Jindal might not make the cut. There are people that are, Governor Kasich from Ohio might not make the cut. So, and I don't trust Kasich, by the way, but I digress. I trust Kasich less than I trust Trump. So the journalists that are involved in the debate and the other candidates, like Rick Santorum, who might not make the debate, they have the opportunity to look Trump in the face and say, do you support the Second Amendment? Yes or no? Would you make it a crime to kill babies that are in the womb? Yes or no? You see, this is where we have got to be more sophisticated than we've been for decades. Someone standing up and saying, I'm pro-life or I'm pro-marriage doesn't mean diddly squat. Those words, I'm pro-life, does not mean diddly squat. I watched a clip of Chris Christie explaining that he was pro-life. Yes, I'm pro-life, and I believe that every human being in the world. He's having to read these words exactly because he's so not pro-life. He had to read the words exactly. I believe that every human being in the womb has value, but I also think that we need to be pro-life from birth all the way to the end of life. And then he just went off. That was it. That was his grand pro-life statement. So the question is, Mr. Christie, Donald Trump, if somebody gets far enough ahead in the political battles to make it a crime to kill babies, will you sign the law? That's what matters. You mean you would put women in jail who are seeking abortion? Of course I would. Of course I would. I would fight for the death sentence for physicians who kill babies. I would fight for the death sentence for them. They're murderers. They're mass murderers. What about this don't we get? So, yes, we have to not let these people off the hook with them saying, I'm pro-life. What does that mean? What does that mean? Does that mean you would make it a crime to kill an unborn baby? That's what being pro-life is. Anything other than that, from conception until birth, is not pro-life. Pro-life with exceptions, pro-life sorta, kinda I feel pro-life. That's not pro-life. Pro-life is I'll make it a crime to kill a human being if they live in their mommy's womb.